Hi, welcome. I'm Cher, the Shadow Walker, and I'm taking a look at strange and weird occurrences across Canada and in some of the United States and animal mutilations as well in the last 48 hours. And I'm going to start with Newfoundland. In the Bonavista Peninsula near Random Island at 10 p.m. on March 28th, a singular high-intensity light point source. Witnesses described a silent orb hovering before performing a series of instantaneous non-ballistic accelerations. 3 people witnessed it, 2 local residents and 1 traveler on the Trans-Canada Highway. They reported it to the Ufology Research of Canada. And in Harbour Mille in Fortune Bay at 11:15 on March 28th, a luminous oval-shaped object moving at a low altitude was seen over the water. It was described as having hazy glowing perimeter with no audible engine noise. 3 residents seen that, and they reported it to the RCMP. It was filed as an unexplained aerial sighting. And in animal mutilations in the Corduroy Valley West Coast area at 7:15 a.m. on March 29th, a heifer was found with precision-like circular incisions on the jaw and left ear. The owner reported a total absence of blood at the site and that it appeared to be cauterized. No predator tracks were visible on the surrounding ground, and it was the livestock owner, and he reported it to the veterinarian clinic and shared it with the Newfoundland Federation of Agriculture. In Prince Edward Island over the last 48 hours, and central Prince Edward Island, the North Shore near Cavendish, at 9:30 p.m. on March 29th, 2 people witnessed a fast-moving triangle arrangement of lights, silently moving towards the Gulf of the St. Lawrence. The witnesses noted the lights did not flash like standard strobe or navigation lights. And they reported it to Sky Canada Project. Excuse me. And in the eastern Kings County, that's near Goose River and Souris area, they're actually about 35 minutes apart, but at 9 a.m. on March 30th, a sheep was found in a fenced paddock with bloodless removal of the tongue and one eye. The property owner reported that the incisions were perfectly smooth and showed no signs of tearing and no scavengers, footprints, any tracks anywhere. And so it was the one rural property owner and reported it to the Prince Edward Island Department of Agriculture and the provincial veterinarian. So in Nova Scotia, over the last 48 hours, in Mahone Bay, the Lunenburg vicinity, at 10:15 p.m. on March 28th, 2 people witnessed stationary bright point source orbs that remained fixed for several minutes before one blinked out and another accelerated vertically at high speed. And it was just the 2 neighbors that seen it, and they reported it to the Sky Canada Project and the local civilian UAP social media tracking group. Excuse me. In Annapolis Valley near Wolfville at 11:45 on March 29th, a triangular formation of dim lights moving silently over the North Mountain Ridge. Witnesses specifically noted the absence of sound and the fact that the object occluded blocked out the stars as they passed over. And it was one witness outside on their balcony, and they reported that ufology research. And in animal mutilations in the Hants County rural outskirts at 8 a.m. on March 30th, this is when it was discovered. A farm dog found dead near the edge of a woodlot. The animal had precise bloodless removal of ear and tongue. Owner reported that the edges of the skin looked like they had been cauterized. There were no signs of blood or struggle on the fur, no tracks from larger predators, and it was the rural property owner that found it, and it reported it to the Nova Scotia Department of Agriculture and to the local veterinarian clinic. in that area. Next, we're taking a look at New Brunswick, and in the Moncton Dieppe southeast area at 10:30 p.m. on March 28th, a bright stationary orb that suddenly performed a series of zigzag maneuvers before accelerating towards the coast. Witnesses noted the light was silent and distinct from any known commercial drone or aircraft navigation light. And so that was two people. One was standing on a balcony, and the other one was in a vehicle. And they reported it to the Canada Sky Project and ufology research database. And in Woodstock, Carleton County, West, at 11:45 p.m. on March 29th, an oval-shaped object with pulsing orange glow. The object was observed moving at low altitude near the Canada-U.S. border. A witness noted it stayed in position for roughly 5 minutes before disappearing instantaneously. So it was just one person that seen it, a local resident, and they reported it to the RCMP as an unexplained aerial sighting. And in animal mutilations in the Caledonia Mountains in the Elgin South area, the discovery was at 7:45 a.m. on March 30th. A calf was found dead in a remote pasture with a clean, bloodless removal of the tongue and one ear. The owner confirmed there was no blood on the hide or on the ground and that the edges of the skin appeared to be fused or cauterized. Despite the soft morning dew, no predator or human tracks were found around the carcass, and it was the livestock owner, and he reported it to the veterinarian clinic and the New Brunswick Cattle Producers Association. And in Kingston at 8:15 a.m. on March 19th, so this is the Kingston Peninsula, a deer was found on a private property with its jaw removed and missing soft tissue around the eye. The property owner noticed a lack of blood and absence of scavengers by local wildlife, which would have occurred by then for sure. And it was one rural property owner, and they reported it to the Department of Natural Resources, the DNR, because there's so many coyotes and koi there that there's bound to be something that would come up. Next, we're taking a look at Maine. And did you know that Maine is ranked among the top states per capita for unexplained sightings in 2026? And so we're in Aroostook County near Mars Hill at 9:15 p.m. on March 28th. A silent bright point light source that moved with erratic non-ballistic speed. The witness reported the object descended towards the tree line, hovering for approximately 3 minutes, and then shot vertically out of sight in a fraction of a second. So it was one homeowner that witnessed that, and they reported it to the National UFO Reporting Center. And in the coastal Haddock County near Bar Harbor at 10:30 p.m. on March 29th, a triangular formation of 3 amber lights moving slowly and silently over the water. Witnesses noted the lights did not flicker. There was no visible structure connecting them, though they moved as a single unit. And that was 2 people that were just walking on the shore. And they reported it to MUFON, the Maine chapter. In animal mutilations, in the rural Highlands area, a discovery at 7:45 a.m. on March 29th. A young bull was found in a remote pasture with a left ear and tongue removed. Precise, smooth incisions. Owner confirmed no blood on the ground or on the animal's coat. The edges of the wound appeared dried and hard, consistent with cauterization. No tracks of humans or animals were present in the muddy areas surrounding the carcass. And it was a livestock owner that witnessed it and reported it to the Maine Department of Agriculture and Conservation and Forestry. and to a local veterinarian. And in South Oxford County, near Freiburg, hope I pronounced that right, 9:30 a.m. on March 30th, a deer carcass was found by a resident on the edge of their property. The animal had both eyes and sex organs removed with precise surgical precision. The witness noticed uncanny cleanliness of the site, no blood, no tearing, no signs of scavengers, crows, or coyotes touching the remains. And it was a local resident of that property, and they reported it to the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife. And that's it for down there for today. Thank you so much for listening. And if you could like, share, and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. It helps me to get up in the algorithms.